3, 2. Phase Hero episode 81. This is the Fantastic Four First Steps spoiler-filled review and discussion episode recorded at San Diego Comic-Con. If you're watching on video, we're all together. If you are listening in audio form, we're still all together. You just can't see the magic of it. BD here, joined today by Jenna Anderson.
Hey, everybody. Go watch the video. We're all here. We're all, happy to be here. This is so much fun.
Hell yeah. We got Jamie Jirak.
Oh, my goodness. I love being here with all of you.
We got Aaron Perine.
What's going on, BD? I love your hat.
Hey, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It
Thank you.
is.
If I do say so myself, you should buy 4. PhaseHero.com has all the Phase Hero merch. We have summer-inspired merch for some of the big movies that came out this summer. Jamie was rocking one on our story the other day.
Yeah, I got the S sweater.
Yeah, it's a cool-looking S.
And you know I cropped it, and it looks great.
Pretty cool, yeah.
She worked in the movie last night.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, we're going to talk about the movie. This is spoilers ahead for Fantastic Four First Steps. If you haven't seen it yet, pause the video, send it to a friend, tell them to watch it, come back and watch it after you see it. We're going to start with reactions, then we're going to do some just discussion about the movie. I want to try when you and I went on Heroes Reforged to talk Thunderbolts, we talked all about Fantastic Four and Doomsday. We'll talk a little bit about, what this sets up.
We have a year and a half to talk about Doomsday.
Yeah. Today's about Fantastic Four, not theories and a little bit of theories. But let's talk about this movie.
There's only so much you can theorize about what we even have seen.
Shockingly less than I thought
Which
after this movie.
I like, but we will get into that.
We'll get into that. And then at the end of the video, 10 score, and we'll give you the official Phase Hero rating when we average our 4 scores. I've talked a lot about this movie already, so let's open it up. You guys saw last night. Jenna, what'd you think of Fantastic Four First Steps?
Yeah, we all went together, which was a delight. We saw it in 3D, which I cannot remember the last time I saw a 3D movie. I'm already looking forward to rewatching it just to appreciate the visuals not in 3D. But this movie...
Was it IMAX 3D or just...
No, just normal 3D.
Oh, no.
We were happy to be together. We were happy to be at the showing. It worked out.
It was the option.
Was it hard to find tickets to Fantastic Four on opening night in San Diego at Comic-Con weekend or something?
Yeah, right? Shocker.
What?
This movie is like a fever dream. There are so many micro-specific things that they do that are comic accurate that I cannot believe. I know Matt Shakman has talked at length about how much he loves the comics, even following the most recent comics that are just being published. You can see such a comprehensive love in this movie in a way that I genuinely did not think was possible. There are certain things that this movie does, even weird little touches that
things
I cannot believe that I can't believe I'm even seeing them. It's so lovingly put together and the cast is perfect. My one qualm is I wish it was even longer. I wish if it had another 20 or so minutes, I think it would be a perfect movie for me. It is already so wonderful and I can't wait to rewatch it a bunch, but I feel it's almost too quick to get to everything.
Jamie?
I want to add about the 3D. I saw the Marvels in 3D, and it was awesome. So I was like, yeah, okay, fine, we'll do 3D. And I did not care for the 3D in this movie. I don't think you have to see it. I think actually it muted some of the visuals for us. I think it was darker. And for me, my favorite thing about this movie was the 60s aesthetic. Matt Shakman brought it. Obviously, we all know how I feel about WandaVision. And
do you like that show?
I love it.
Are you a
fan? That's what was my favorite thing about it. So I can't wait to go again, not in 3D. But I really liked the movie. I had such a good time. I will say I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. I expected this to be my favorite comic book movie of the year, hands down. And it's not. But I still really enjoyed it. I loved the cast. Like I said, the visuals were great. I really liked the third act. I liked how it all came together. But can I just tell you one thing? You know what really ticked me off? And this is full spoilers. At the end, when I was I had 1 second where I'm are they really gonna kill Sue? Never mind, she has a chair. It was the same thing as Thunderbolts.
I had that
the
thought.
chair ruined the moment for me because I was emotionally invested for a second, and then I went, oh no, I've seen Vanessa Kirby's chair.
You did not think she was gonna die though.
Well, but I might have. You never know. It ruined the moment for me because I was invested emotionally. Pedro was crying, and then I remembered the friggin' chair.
And that CGI baby was right there in his arms.
It was no Renesmee, but still pretty.
Jamie hates the Doomsday chairs confirmed. That one's kind of fair.
At least help that I feel so many people have forgotten the chairs at this point that I feel that so many people are going to not even be thinking about that during this scene. But I totally get it being chronically online.
I was.
I thought of the chairs too. I I pictured the Vanessa Kirby chair in my head
Yeah.
when
It was
she
like a
was.
second chair.
She was Tony Stark at the think of the first Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah.
to me was that scene was like Tony Stark sacrificed, dies, and then all of a sudden comes back and they're a group again. But when she was on the ground, I was like, I saw that fucking chair. All right, Aaron, what'd you think?
Shocker, I am a sucker for the 60s aesthetic as well. Like, of course. Like, what? Come on. Matt Shakman, like, the apology letter should be in for him. I remember people being like, I don't know. And I'm like, listen,
I am
he's
people.
such a big dweeb. No, it's not you.
Not about Matt Shakman,
But about the
60s. About the
60s.
60s.
I
Yeah.
remember our arguments about that.
Oh, God. Yo, the deep lore of this podcast is so tied into this exact movie.
Yes.
But can I say, people like really remember that lore.
Yeah.
All weekend I've been running into people at
Amazing.
Comic-Con and they come up and they like bring stuff up. They're like, I
Amazing.
remember you said this about Fantastic Four and how did you like, and they haven't seen it yet. Did it end up being true? And it's like something I don't even, we might have said it on a different podcast.
Amazing.
Like, and people are bringing stuff up. And I'm like, so thank you to everybody,
Yeah.
Listening and at Comic-Con and we love you guys. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
It's all right. There's
just love our
Space
people.
Hero on Earth 828.
Happy birthday, Jack Kirby, 828, by the way.
That was so sweet.
That was sweet.
That made the movie for me. Like I will talk about Jack Kirby for like days, and just seeing him get like his flowers, and even like it's a blink and you miss it moment. But like the midway through the movie when they're showing different citizens in New York, you can see actors playing Stan and Jack in a comic book studio, and I'm like they so lovingly respected. Like,
Oh, they
Jack.
were playing Stan and Jack?
Yes, they were.
Oh
when
my
when
God. I
you
knew
see,
that was a
because
mo-
I noticed him immediately, and I'm like, he looks like a young Jack Kirby, and like I didn't even get a good look at Stan, but I'm like, that guy has like old Stan Lee's like kind of vibe.
wow.
They're, and like that is a whole thing in the comics, because even canonically in the comics, they have their own comic book, and like they meet like a version of Stan and Jack, and so like having that moment and then having the quote at the end, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, because I'm like, finally he got his flowers. It was so great. But yeah, Aaron, keep yapping.
Oh, I mean, it was really fun. I like the aesthetic stuff pulls me in. I think that the reason it's so short is because there's so much of them actually as scientists, and people might be expecting a lot more punching and kicking maybe out of this movie than maybe than a Fantastic Four story from the comics would. It is a lot of Reed Richards on a whiteboard telling us
See,
stuff.
but I wanted another 20 minutes of that. Like, I wanted just 20 minutes of talking. Like, I could have watched them all just talking and
I
being
thought
around
we
each
were
other.
going to get the only needle drop of the movie when they said, I need a lever. I thought needle drop, montage of them trying to problem solve
Nope.
coming, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Matt's like, no.
Yeah.
I'll say to that point, I like the movie. It didn't have like a signature moment like what you just described would have been. Like when I think about Superman, I know we don't want to compare them, but when I think about Superman, that Mr. Terrific scene, the hero shots of the S, that Superman. I mean, I love when Jamie said this about Daredevil. I needed a little more punchy. Like I needed that in Fantastic Four. I think it's just the story was okay. Everything else to me was amazing. The action scenes when we got them were amazing, which is why I think I landed on like I didn't find myself like leaning in emotionally as much as I thought I would. But everything else about the movie I thought was done really well. It's definitely the best Fantastic Four movie. I know it's a low bar, but it definitely is. It the most fun Fantastic Four movie though?
Silver Surfer's pretty fun.
Yeah, oh,
Roger
yeah.
Corman's is pretty fun.
Right,
but,
that's what I'm saying.
but this is fun and good, which
Yes.
nothing else can really
Yes,
claim.
right.
Because like
Good is
the
more
last
important.
one was obviously not fun and not good, which is just how do you succeed in that?
Don't even get me started.
Oh my God! When you were saying that about Stan Lee and Jack Kirby,
Yeah.
it made me think. I have the director debrief. I talked to Matt Shakman for 20 minutes in
Yeah.
full spoilers, which I'm going to release on Saturday. So if you're watching this on our release day Friday, it's available tomorrow. There's 3 questions I didn't ask him that I'm fucking beating myself up for. That is the third one. I didn't think of it until now because I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
One was I should have asked him, do other superheroes and MCU characters we're familiar with exist in this universe?
I think he already said no.
Oh, he said
in a previous
no.
interview. Yeah.
I might be crazy, but the pregnancy test at the very beginning of the movie.
It says Stork, not Stark.
Oh my God!
Because
You knew where I was going.
Because
we
I-
spent too much time together. Oh my God! I thought it said Stark.
Because Stark pregnancy tests
would
are
be
hilarious.
very
idea.
funny.
That's a really
That
good
would be
point.
very
Really
funny.
good
The
point.
irony
the
of that.
ultimate weapon.
They lingered on.
It's like Reed is the smartest person in this universe, so Stark's mind is, going. So all he can do is create pregnancy tests, which are valuable, obviously. But
They lingered on it long enough that I was like, that looks like it says Stark, and I'm like, it says Stork. That makes more sense.
that
That's
makes a
very
lot.
60s.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the third. It was Are There Other Heroes? Was that a Stark pregnancy test? And
Glad you didn't.
I know that would have been very funny.
Yeah.
That's honestly.
My dumbass though, I said to him, I saw the B on the Things hat, and I thought he put a Boston hat on him because I'm a Yankees fan. My first thought was Boston. It was a Brooklyn Dodgers hat, but I was like, I'm an idiot. I face palmed right in front of him. All right, so should we start at the end of the movie?
I guess.
Yeah.
Should we just start with the credit scene?
Yes.
Sure.
Get it away.
Yes, the credit scene to me was cool, but expected and safe, if that makes sense. Very cool to see Doom. Maybe I'm hard to satisfy.
I knew about it way too early. Like I had an idea of what it was, and I built it up in my head as something even worse than what it would be. I thought it was going to completely end the movie on a different note, and I didn't want that. I think the scene we ultimately got works fine, and it does work of like getting people excited for the next thing, but I feel like it's deeply unnecessary. Like I don't know, it's just there.
I have mixed feelings about it because on one hand, like it's a Fantastic Four movie. Doomsday's coming up. Obviously, no part of me didn't think we weren't going to get Doom.
Yeah.
Like I get it. It makes so much sense. And at first I was like, oh, are we saving the RDJ money for a couple other projects? Like, could we not afford him? And that was my first thought. But then the more I thought about it, I think that it would have confused people.
Yeah, we didn't need to
if
see
Robert
him.
Downey Jr. would have like shown up and turned his head, there is a good amount of people that would have been like, Tony's alive, because not everybody knows.
yeah.
They need to explain him in canon in a better way than him showing up at the end of a movie, because there are so many people that are not in our circle of world that would not have understood if they saw his face. So I think it makes sense that they left him out.
Well,
And
even
y'all
then-
think they'll understand two Batmans? Anyway.
This is a whole separate. Because like the scene,
I agree with you. I
the
agree
scene
with you.
itself still raises questions of like, is this the Doom of their universe? Is this the Doom of another universe? Because there's in the UN they pan past the chair for
Latveria.
Latveria and it's empty. So it's like we don't even know who's like what universe's Doom this is.
He's
So I
out
like
there
that there's
dooming.
at least that. But yeah, I agree. If it had been Downey, I would have been mad because we did not need that in this movie.
I mean,
Doom.
also, there's just a level of like, okay, come on back next year. We're gonna explain a lot. Like most people who, I guess, the same sort of like casual fan who would be watching this movie and not knowing like that Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom would be like, why wasn't Doctor Doom in this movie for like half of it? We named every other weird Fantastic Four villain imaginable.
There's like
And
100 more they can
and all
name,
you
but
saw
they
was
named a lot.
Latveria and be like, cool, all right. We got the guy who has the apes, but we don't have like the villain besides Galactus for the Fantastic Four, but it doesn't matter. It's fine.
I was surprised that we didn't get a tie-in to the Thunderbolts post-credit scene.
Me too.
I expected that, and so I would have rather that honestly than what we got. I'm not. It didn't ruin anything, but I was like, I want that question answered because we were all like, is that for?
Yeah.
Are they on that ship? And I assumed this movie would answer that question, and I only have to hope that they know the answer to the question.
I remember being so worried that it was just going to be they were going to put Franklin on that ship by himself and then send him to the Thunderbolts. Like people started
Bradley
there-
Cooper was going to tell him some
Literally.
nice things and make him
Literally.
go to.
Dawned.
Literally, and I was like, I don't want that. So I'm glad that we don't know the answer because I think once we do find it out, it'll be really interesting.
I was looking at something because I saw comments. Somebody said that the Thunderbolts credit scene, there were 4 spires on the Excelsior ship, and in this movie there's 3, but I don't know if that's true. It was just a comment I saw, and I'm trying to find a good shot on Twitter real quick of that. I can't tell.
They
That
gonna have
looked-
to rebuild this ship because
looks
the
like it
bad
has
boy
3,
got
right?
like really
Right,
rough
that's 1, 2,
stuff
3.
trying to
I
escape
mean,
from Silver
you
Surfer,
can't
right?
really tell because it's hidden behind there.
Yeah, I don't
An
know.
update.
But I think it's the same ship.
Am I correct that this scene was directed by the Russos?
It was.
Yes, it
Okay.
was directed by the Russos. I asked that was interesting when I interviewed Matt. You'll see, he's very open. A lot of things, but that when I brought up the credit scene, I felt like the air left the room. Like it was just he locked down. I said, "Did you direct it?" And he was like, "Did I direct the credit?" Yeah, I said, "Yeah." I know Jake Schreier didn't direct the Thunderbolts credit scene. It was the Russos. He said, "Yes, it was the Russos." And I said, "Was it Downey?" And he said, "Yes." And okay, so I thought maybe they just could have thrown anybody in a green,
Yeah, I thought that
Yeah,
too.
I'm surprised.
which they still could have, and you're not
Yeah.
going to tell me they didn't.
Yeah.
But I don't think Matt Shakman was lying. I think maybe they obviously filmed that on the Doomsday set.
Yeah.
Good to see that the Baxter building has been rebuilt after Galactus ripped that part out. It only took 4 years to rebuild the Baxter building. It took 100 to find out who bought Avengers Tower. So the Fantastic Four are already winning me over on that front.
Knowing Reed, they probably rebuilt it in like a month, like if even.
If they could
Yeah.
get the resources to build these spires all over the earth, you
I
could be
know.
like, please rebuild our house.
I know.
Did Herbie die?
No.
Oh.
Wait, Herbie got
Shame on
fucking
you.
scooped up by Galactus.
They will rebuild Herbie. I was like not really paying
But
attention
is that
to
the
what
same
Was
Herbie?
he not in the end? The post-credit scene? Was he not hanging
He
out?
is, but is that the same
no.
Herbie?
Yeah, because he turns off the TV and the little like,
Oh, yeah.
animated thing.
He's
so
fine.
Herbie exists. They
He's
could
fine.
reboot Herbie.
They when Galactus put that big old paw in there and grabbed Franklin and Herbie wasn't in his hand, I was like, did they kill my boy?
Herbie didn't have a chair, so.
They should have given Herbie like a little tiny chair.
God, see, it's me. Oh
I
my
want to bring
God.
up. Aaron brought this up yesterday, and it's an interesting thing that's also like not a problem, but a thing with Superman where the whole world really came together in a way that didn't feel realistic.
See, but I love that aspirational shit. I will take that over like world outside your window. Here's bureaucracy and like complications. I would rather have this like very fantastical thing of like everyone is coming together because also
Not a
when-
chance.
Not
we
a
would've
your
died.
life.
Because also,
No.
Cut 'em.
Because
No.
there's the line during that montage of like it just takes four like people who care to like change the world, and it always has that. Like I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. I loved that line.
Oh, a
So-
lovely
listen to me.
sentiment.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I am
I know
ready.
it's not realistic, but I love that it's fantastical. In that
I
way.
will strap a parachute to a crying baby and throw it out the plane just for peace and quiet. So if the stake of the earth is at hand, hand that thing over. I'm
Okay,
not
I
gonna
want your
lie to you.
opinions on this because I believe in and truth above all else. To me, truth. There's nothing more important in this world than truth. But when Reed told everybody that the Galactus wanted the baby, I was like, bro.
You might wanna
yes,
lie.
Have you not been media trained,
I
big
literally
fella?
went,
Yeah, she was like, ugh.
dude, I really respect you and your honesty, but they're gonna come for your baby now.
She
is
walked
who
out into
Reed
a
is,
town
though.
square holding that
I know,
baby, and
I know.
nobody snatched that thing. Please.
I thought we were gonna have a mother situation, like the third act of Mother.
I haven't watched Mother. I know
You
that's
would
probably
hate
not
it.
surprising.
You would hate it.
Dark.
You would hate it.
Not that kind of thing.
But like that was very on brand for Reed as a character to just be a little too honest.
I couldn't believe that he said that.
Cusp on the spectrum stuff.
No, that's
like,
right.
I don't
You said
think.
it, not me. Like he is very autistic coded in this movie in a way that like other people online are already very much responding to. It is so beautifully characterized of like how nerdy
super
he
funny.
is.
He says that, but he
Yeah.
doesn't admit that he's thinking about handing Franklin over.
Because it's different to admit that to your wife.
Yeah.
You told the whole world.
But that's different.
A man who would say to his wife, I made your suit way bigger, fears nothing. He fears nothing. He's like, y'all ain't gonna do anything to me.
How did you guys feel about the chemistry between Pedro and Vanessa on screen?
Amazing.
Oh.
Amazing.
You know I was waiting for that. You know that I was like, this is my bisexual dream. And it did not disappoint. They're so hot.
They're
And
good-looking people.
They're so sweet with
yeah.
each other too.
Yeah.
Just like so many like tender little like moments or pet names or whatever. And I'm like, more of this, please. Like this is so wonderful.
Pedro like keeps getting top billing on the posters. And he's at the
Uh-huh.
front, but this is Sue Storm's movie.
I'm so
I agree.
Yeah, and that was cool. I thought she was great.
I love Vanessa Kirby. She's one of my favorites. And because like you guys know, I've seen Mission Impossible Fallout 10,000 times. It was jarring to hear her with an American accent.
Oh, I can imagine.
It was a good accent. It wasn't bad by any means, but like it kind of threw me for a bit. I had to get used to it because
Yeah.
like she's in so many like franchises that I love. She's in Hobbs and Shaw. She's
Yo,
in The
my
Crown.
God,
I
forgot.
know. And like I'm just so
She's
used to her
a
being
Shaw.
so British.
Well, Hattie Shaw.
Yeah,
was
yeah, Hattie
so
Shaw.
great.
And my
She was
favorite-
great in that movie.
My favorite character in the entire Fast and Furious franchise is Hattie Shaw. She's
like
so good.
she
That's
stole that
saying
movie.
something.
I know.
I was
man.
gonna ask you, Jamie, because like I remember Pedro said like a couple weeks ago, he was like they basically taught them to not do a transatlantic accent on set, and he still was trying to slip it in wherever possible. I feel like with him and Vanessa, it definitely came through, and it made me really happy, just as like an old movie person.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it or
Uh-huh.
clock it, but next time I watch it, I'm going to look out for it and totally notice it.
Because I was
I'm
so
sure.
worried that they were like going to just use takes where they sound more like modern day American, but it definitely came through. He like totally sounded
It's
that kind of vibe.
hard to clock any type of accent when Natasha Lyonne is there.
That is also true.
No, yeah.
She
Were you
knows-
happy with her role?
Oh yeah, we were talking a lot about this yesterday. I wish she had been in it more.
Yeah.
I like
Probably
seeing
is
her
a
as
version
like
where she
a
was.
sweet,
Yeah.
like teachery. You don't see her in that kind of role a lot.
Yes.
And we were talking about this yesterday. We're glad that it was this character.
so glad.
because Natasha Lyonne playing two different blind characters in two different Marvel movies would have been really ridiculous.
I also just Alicia has such a specific role in Ben's life and in like the team's life. I was like, we don't need her in this movie. There's already so much going on in this movie. Save her for like the sequel in the post Secret Wars universe and like really get into that. They do mention Puppet Master, who's her stepfather, so like there's definitely the seeds for it. But I was so thankful that she's playing someone else.
In case you somehow don't know, she's blind in
Yes.
Blade Trinity.
Which I had forgotten about.
Watch it for Parker Posey. That's the only reason to watch that movie.
man.
Kerry
Wait.
Washington did get a chair, man.
Let's go. Let's go back to the end real quick with Sue. I do feel like that was a similar moment to Avengers where
Yeah.
Tony dies at the end and then comes back. I felt like it was. I asked Matt if that was intentional. Like, is this like a multiverse parallel? He said he didn't think of it that way. Okay, well, it's oddly reminiscent of it. That I think whatever. Franklin doesn't just bring her back to life. He's rewriting reality. So,
Yep.
Jen, I'm going to let you explain that. One thing I want to say in terms of MCU Easter eggs, though, is when her eye, and shout out to Ryan Airy from Screen Crush for this one, when her eyes open, that's a very similar effect to what happened to Star-Lord
Yep.
when Ego showed him eternity. So I'm curious if that's intentional or not. But go, please.
I feel like it might be slightly intentional because there's only so many different ways to explain all of the cosmic stuff that's happening in this
Yeah.
multiverse. I feel like
It's true.
Even we were talking about that last night with like Galactus's ship design of like Tony had said it seemed very similar to like just normal MCU stuff, and I'm like I can understand that. With Franklin, because I didn't even really clock the Avengers parallel of it all. I was more because I had just rewatched Rise of the Silver Surfer pretty recently, and I was like, oh, that's another movie where
sorry.
you think she's about to die. Listen, I watched Fan Four Stick for the first time 2 weeks ago.
and your
so-
mentions the people in the replies.
500,000 people engaged with that tweet for some reason. It was crazy. But so I was like, are we doing Rise of the Silver Surfer again where she's like going to fake out and die? But then really to me that scene was more about Franklin and like showing his powers. But yeah, he's like one of the most powerful Omega level mutants in the entire Marvel universe. Like it is very kind of nebulous what he can and can't do, but like they leaned into it just enough.
Yeah.
Could he take Gaia?
Yes. Yes.
Y'all just cannot resist. I swear.
I
think he's gonna
forgot
cannot
that name.
resist.
Do you think he's gonna be a? Well,
Uh-huh.
I'm not. Jamie, stop.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Do you think he's gonna be a mutant in the MCU?
I'm sure they're figuring that out right now because even that there's a more recent comic that kind of dealt with that in a way that a lot of people didn't really like, of like kind of taking away his mutant heritage and dealing with all of it in a very complicated way. I feel like they're probably still figuring that out as they're writing X-Men, as they're writing like the potential sequel. I'm sure they're all working on that.
I'm wondering what will come of the 828 universe because we just had Kevin Feige talk about how the timelines are going to be condensed basically into one again after Secret Wars. But this universe, to me, was not necessarily the universe, but the world, the visuals of this were my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
So I remember after Guardians 1, it was like, oh, they're obviously going to be in the next Avengers movie. And then they'll all come together. We had this expectation about the Guardians and how they'll factor into the Avengers, and they didn't meet until Infinity War. We all kind of now expect 828 is going to roll into the 616 or 19999, whichever one it ends up being, after Secret Wars. And I don't know if that's the case. I kind of would like to see this 828 universe continue, but I also, I'm torn because I want to see the Fantastic Four interact with the main timeline heroes for always.
I can look at like how DC did Crisis on Infinite Earths and how they kind of just mushed everything together afterwards. I think you could do something very similar here. Like even on TV when they did it in the Arrowverse, it was a very similar sort of thing. You can kind of pick and choose and cherry pick whatever you want out of the specific things. So in my dream world, the aesthetic of 828 could maybe carry over into the main
I like
universe.
that.
And then
like
we could
that.
still have characters we've already known and the X-Men, and you can just kind of have like best of both worlds.
I've been saying for like a year, I assumed that this reality was done.
I know, I'm so glad.
So I was like, oh yeah, they saved the day. Because I really was thinking, I'm like, man, their whole planet's gonna die,
Yeah.
and they're gonna just be depressed. and-
Reed's gonna have
Yeah.
like the worst survivor's
yeah,
guilt.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was quite happy that
Shoulda handed over that baby.
ended a little on a more positive note, because I really thought they were cooked.
Yeah.
Well, there already is like a weird, funny cast interview. You can go find it on YouTube where they talk about, well, yeah, it has new carpet now, and that living room is way too big for 4 people. So we are going to see the Avengers in there at some point. I'm going to laugh when everybody's like,
Oh, you
"Yeah."
think the Avengers are going to go to 828?
I think so.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
I mean,
when
profit.
I thought this universe was cooked when they were trying to teleport the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that happened, I leaned forward. I was like, oh, I honestly might have been the most interested I was in the story because I thought we were going to get an incursion moment where it was going to really tie into the bigger story of the multiverse saga.
I found that so impactful too when she came through and started blowing up all the thingies
Yes. Yeah.
because
Great.
I was like, they work so hard.
I know.
The
whole world.
world came together,
Never
and then
happened.
she just broke it in an instant. I was so sad for all their hard work.
Even in today's world, if like some cosmic threat was like, I'm gonna fuck up your planet, like you guys are cooked, like every single one of you, you're dead unless you work together to stop me. Our Earth would just be like, nah.
It's literally the plot of Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what you feel about that movie, I think it is a really
I
good
did love the
You're on a
Galactus
freak
cult.
right now.
How they
Please
had
stop.
like
The Galactus cult,
yeah, that was great. I was
There
like, we're gonna go to Mount Everest and think we're gonna survive the Earth being eaten.
They want to be the first
Can we
ones
talk
to meet
about Mole Man?
Galactus.
Because like also
Please,
that,
Paul
'cause
Walter Hauser's great.
Because like
my guy.
having Subterranea just be an existing thing made me so happy. Like obviously like Mole Man is their first major villain, so it's like you can have 4 or 5 years of baked in history. But like I loved that Subterranea was just a plot device that they could use and like a place they could send people to. And then yeah, when he comes to the Baxter Building, that is the funniest
It's the
scene
funniest scene
in
in
the
the
Funniest scene
movie.
in the movie.
We were quoting the like Johnny, don't be mad. I didn't dress you line for like the
The take your shoes off, please.
Yeah.
That was improv. Paul,
Oh,
and he
amazing.
threw that line in there. Yeah.
He really like. I will say there were certain moments where like I expected to laugh more. I did laugh, but I did expect kind of a little bit lighter throughout. So when he was on screen and he was slaying, he was so funny. I also want to shout out the fact that they had the consideration to evacuate
Yes.
those buildings.
That would've been a lot of dead people.
We think about 2012 New York City. There are a lot of collateral damage up in there. I think.
Yeah. Man of
So-
Steel.
yeah.
When the
that.
when the
Don't even
two
get me
teams meet, like our Avengers and like this Fantastic Four, it's going to be really funny because they're going to be like, you guys are really hokey and ridiculous. He's
Yes.
like, you guys don't care about anybody dying.
Yes.
You guys just let people die all
That's
the time.
literally how the Marvel DC crossovers always go in the
Yeah.
comics. It's like the DC heroes come over and they're like, you guys kind of suck at doing this.
Ah.
It's great.
Oh, what else could we wear? The Mole Man stuff. There was definitely some Mole Man stuff that was cut.
Yeah.
There was Red Ghost was cut. John Malkovich
I'm
entirely.
happy we got the monkeys because
Yes.
at least that was still something. Because as I lamented on the show
Super.
2 weeks ago, I still wanted the Super Apes, and we got them twice, and then we got them in the little animated.
The
thing again.
animated version did look like an animated
Yes,
Malkovich a little
absolutely.
bit,
It did.
so I
Yeah.
was like, I'll take it.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of the stuff that was cut that I know of and that we've heard of is flashback stuff, basically. That might have been that montage. Maybe that montage might have been my favorite part of the movie. It's
I
either
liked
that or
it.
the Silver Surfer chase and the birth in space
Yes,
scene.
that
Those are
was
my 2 favorite parts.
insane.
But the Super Ape being there was fantastic. And we've talked about this, but if it's your first time listening, I'm going to shout this out because I'm proud of myself for having this comic knowledge. And I wish Malkovich was in the movie because I had a theory and it was right. I watched that first trailer. I was like, this guy's going to be Red Ghost because I started reading early Fantastic Four books. And Red Ghost is a huge part of that. I thought they were going to tell the origin story of the Fantastic Four through the lens of Red Ghost because he recreates their incident in the comics trying to make super apes to then take over the world. We got the super ape in the montage and in the the end credits, there's an ape that pulls on
Yeah.
Reed's face.
Yeah.
So they did pay great homage, Giganto, and a lot of stuff to the earliest days of Fantastic Four. But cutting Malkovich is crazy. Like
It is.
I don't think Malkovich probably cares that much. Like it doesn't
He
affect.
got paid.
Yeah.
a
But
bummer,
I
though.
bet he's a little offended because
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah, I'm
he's
sure a little
he's
bit.
a very serious, very fantastic actor, and to be like to get cut twice.
Yeah.
But just imagine the impressions you'd have to hear from me if they kept him in the movie.
Oh my God! Good point. Sorry, Malkovich, you're done.
Because him doing a Russian accent and then you trying to do that.
A John Malkovich Russian accent done by.
Well, he does a what's the movie with Matt Damon? The poker gambling movie Rounders. He has a ridiculous accent in Rounders, so
Like,
you can go watch that.
Hopefully it's on the deleted scenes at least.
I'll be
I,
mad if it's
I
not.
asked that in the director debrief too. I don't remember what Matt said, but I don't think he knows. I don't think it's his
Yeah.
decision on if
Yeah.
we'll ever see it. But remember when they used to do cool stuff on 4K?
Yeah, I sure do. I sure do, BD.
Give me them bonus features. Give me Matt Shakman's Fantastic Four. Give me the very
Yeah.
long cut.
Yeah.
I'll watch all
Yes.
of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't care if it makes the movie better or worse.
I don't care
More
if the
footage
VFX
of
are
this one.
unfinished
Yeah.
of those scenes. I just want to see them.
I'm completely on board with that. This I touched on this. The Silver Surfer chase scene
Yeah.
where Sue is giving birth in the cosmos was amazing. Julia Garner, by the way,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
great as Shalabal.
Yes.
Her arrival scene, I was like, did they fucking make a Silver Surfer, she looked so good. And I know there's a few shots in the movie where the CGI is not that great. The baby,
Hardly
The
tell in
baby.
3D.
The baby.
The baby's
the baby
rough.
wasn't
The baby's
great.
uncanny.
But also, like, I can't fully judge it because I don't know how much
Once I
worse
see it again in
3D made
IMAX,
it.
I feel like I'll be able to discern
And
the visuals of
I
it
did
better.
genuinely think of Renesmee a couple times, and like you never want that. You never want to think of Renesmee when you see a baby in a movie. That means something's a little
It's
off.
the opposite of an American Sniper. Like they had that practical fake baby.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then in this one, you had the fake baby that. But I mean, I don't know how you get a baby to act like it's reaching for its mom. So I get why you had to do it, but it just didn't. It took me out.
I never feel more like I don't absorb movies on the same length as my co-host is when we talk about CGI, when we talk about film formats. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. I did not think about any of that. And maybe it's just I haven't seen Twilight.
That was a fake ass baby.
Enough.
One day we will watch Twilight
You
as a
ever watched
group.
Twilight?
I have. I live with Ariel.
Okay, I was gonna say, what are you talking about? I just
I've
okay.
been,
One day the
I've
four
been
of us
led
will
through by
watch
my
Twilight.
nostrils.
I'll
I've still
introduce you
never
to the
seen
Twilight
it.
drinking game I invented.
But no, Shala Ball, like
Fantastic.
so good.
Well,
Like we were talking
shouldn't
about this
say that.
earlier. Like her origin's a little different because in the comics she's like kind of like the queen princess of like her kingdom, and so making her a scientist, I was like, that's fine. But like she did such a good job. I think it really also lent to Johnny having such a great arc and
yeah.
like really having such emotional depth, which like people being like, how is he going to be a hothead? How is he going to be a chauvinist? I think like Joseph Quinn really nailed Johnny in like so many different ways.
I loved how obsessed he was with like the physics of the board.
Yes.
Like I like that he kept bringing it up. Like the
surfboard is not part of the body.
I really enjoyed that bit, and I do like that he was like he had a little crush on her.
Yeah.
I'd have the same reaction. Hey, what do you call her? Sexy Silver
Well,
Surfer?
he can't have a crush on the other hot people in the movie because that wouldn't make sense. So,
yeah, that'd be a little Star
When
Wars.
Ben said, "Oh, she already dumped you," I did laugh.
Yeah.
And I think I was the only
Yeah.
person in the theater that laughed. I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, I
Yeah.
actually liked him and Iman. Like they're really good together."
Their
Yeah,
dynamic was
they're great.
great, especially compared to like rewatching the 2000s movies and seeing them like butt heads a lot. It's like this was so nice that they're already like best friends. Like loved it.
I think Ben. I would have liked to get more of an opportunity with Ben.
Yeah.
To see his humanity because he is like he's kind of have a lot of heart of
Yeah.
his core four and introducing his lady. Like I would have liked to see more of that, and I think that's going to be hopefully they do more of these after Doomsday and Secret Wars. I don't know where they go, but I do think Ben is going to be really humanized through like that relationship and just through Johnny and how he's always, despite being the rock guy, he's going to have a huge heart.
and now he's got a beard.
And now he's got
I
a
love
beard.
that
That was
beard.
fun. The beard actually ended up working for me too. In the trailer, I was like, how's this going to work in the context of the movie? The Rock grows rocks, but it ended up working.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap this up because the studio has guests coming. So that means it's time for our 10 scores. We'll talk more about Fantastic Four some way or another on Phase Hero. You better believe it. You know, we'll find times like Wednesday or something to say, hey, end of the show, spoilers. But 10 scores. I'll go first.
Okay.
God, I don't want to go first on this one.
Then why did you say you would go
Because I
first?
just feel like putting anyone on the spot sucks.
That's
I'll go
fair.
first.
Oh, okay. All right.
I haven't logged it yet in Letterboxd, but I will be giving it a 4.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that math is an 8. It's an 8 for me.
Okay. All right. We'll go around then. Aaron? Get the
I'm
calculator out.
feeling like 8.7.
Okay.
Like I'm way higher on this than like some of the other stuff I've seen this year. I don't know. I think it's I like the freaking vibes. I turn my brain off and I'm like I see a back tube television and some part of my lizard brain activates and it's like, yeah, it's a good movie.
I will say, as much as I enjoyed this movie, I did walk out and say to Aaron, I liked Freakier Friday more.
Yeah.
She did.
I'm with you. Freakier
loved
Friday's
it
hilarious.
So good.
Freakier Friday's like very, very good.
If you want a full Freakier Friday episode like this, please tell Brandon.
Yeah.
Freakier
We will make
Friday's
that happen.
great. Freakier,
so good.
Let's
we
make
can do a
that happen.
Freakier Friday episode. I'm down.
yeah.
Review
Hell yeah.
episode.
God.
Amazing. Amazing.
I am at a 7.7 on this
Okay.
one. That's I liked it. Again, BD hates Fantastic Four confirmed. I'm guilty of my own jokes. But I mean, I liked the movie. I really thought it was good, but I just didn't find myself as into it as I wanted to be. I just felt like it kept hitting this like it's almost great and just it felt like just there was I don't know how to put my finger on it, but the thing I wanted felt like it was missing. A lot of the stuff was great and some of it just didn't step in. I don't know.
Tony and I said the exact same thing. We can't put our finger on what kept this from being like
Perfect.
a little bit better. It's really liked it, great, but there is something that we
Yeah.
what is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I will after I see it again.
Yeah, and I also this might be a take that people don't want to hear, but I do think coming off of Superman, so close to Superman,
Yep.
which to me I left Superman feeling this fulfillment and this joy and this like inspiration, and there's just signature moments, and I didn't feel all of that as thoroughly with this movie. I liked it a lot, but I think I am guilty of not being able to not compare them. And they're so close together.
I was thinking about that this morning. I feel like this is a meal that is really well made. It is like very delicious, but you're still left hungry at the end of it. Like you still want a little bit more. Whereas
It's like having
it's
sushi.
I've seen Superman half a dozen times, but even then, it is you are very satisfied when you see that movie.
Every
so
time.
yeah, I think it's like two completely different things.
Yeah.
I think Jenna is purposely being aggressive by wearing this Superman shirt.
It is also like if you think of the Superman shirt to the Fantastic Four review is crazy, but it is also if you think about the Fantastic Four and Superman and the stories of these movies and what happened before them and what they're doing and both how they start with this heavy lifting of setting up this already established thing. It's so interesting how there's such similar stories going into it, but then end up being such different movies, which is great. I mean that as such we needed that.
Yes. I will say both of them, what I love is like they're both poppin' color comic book movies.
Yes.
Both of these movies, I'm like, it feels so good to feel like in both cases, I'm like inside of a comic book.
Yeah.
And that is what we want because, you know, when comic book movies got really popular 25 years ago, we were in a different aesthetic.
Yes.
and now we have like I can't stop looking. I'm like Franklin. Like this.
We are lucky to be living in this timeline.
We are.
Of comic
Absolutely.
book movies.
Of comic movies.
Of comic book
Nothing
movies.
else.
Yeah, there's a few other parts of the time. All right, Jenna, 10 score.
8.8.
8.8.
Oh, wow.
Boom. All right, that brings us to the official Phase Hero score out of 10 for Fantastic Four First Steps is an 8.3 out of 10.
Hell
That's
yeah.
pretty fair.
That's
I like
quite
it.
high.
I like it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging with us on Phase Hero and dealing with the time it got released. I turned this around as fast as I possibly could. If you're watching it, thank you for enjoying. Jenna, any last words for today's episode?
Yeah, it's at Hey It's Jenna Lynn on social media. As always, go read some comics and go read Fantastic Four comics and go subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is at Go Read Some Comics. I'm going to be yapping about this movie a lot once I get back from Comic-Con.
Jamie?
Oh, yeah. If you're at San Diego Comic-Con right now, all of us are doing panels today.
Yeah.
If you want to see us in person, go on our socials and look up the information because I don't know it off the top of my head.
By the time I get this out, I think it's going to be post panels.
Okay. Well-
But if you came to the panels, thank you.
Thank you.
And to
And-
your wrestling match.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I hope this is up for the wrestling match because then it's a whole day late.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, anyway.
Well, either way. As always, when you go see Fantastic Four this weekend, don't take your phone out because it's rude.
Too many people did last night. It was kind of annoying.
Aaron?
We're on a 2-movie streak of people taking full-blown phone calls. It's at Some Lake Hornet on all platforms, at How to Watch Free TV. Got free TV newsletter coming out later today. Hopefully. We'll see. We're really busy. I'm with Brandon. It's going to be really hard to get all of this stuff out at the same time, so thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I love having the four of us here together. Anytime that we get to this Pedro Vanessa moment right here.
I'm Pedro. Yes. Just so we're clear.
Oh, look at that.
Love it. Love it.
All right, y'all. Well, yes. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us on Face Hero. I love when we're able to do this in person. I wish we could do it in person every week. I genuinely think like the podcast would be better for it. Like I think we're.
Well, someone needs to move to LA.
Or you could all move to
Well,
Chicago
two of
or
us live
Nashville.
in one place, so it just
We
makes
were
more
talking about
sense.
high-speed rail. We were like, we should just commute
Hey,
back and forth. in a
United
perfect
Airlines, if
world.
you guys want to sponsor the podcast
That'd
and
be
send
great.
Jenna and I to LA every single week, we will happily shout you out.
That'd be great.
But I prefer United, so only you guys. All right. Play our show for your dad. Play it for your cat. Have fun this weekend at Fantastic Four, seeing it over and over again. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Drop your 10 scores. I wish we could have done this live, but I would have rather done this together. And I'm not going to get greedy. Have a good weekend, everybody. All right. Sweet.
Hey.